I'm Dr. Cayne Layton. I'm a marine ecologist and postdoctoral research fellow here at the Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies at the University of Tasmania. My research primarily focuses on kelp forest ecology and the ecology of temperate rocky reefs. And the work I'm doing at the moment, a large part of it is looking at the restoration of kelp forests, and specifically giant kelp forests. These losses have occurred over the past several decades, and they're primarily associated with increasing influence of the East Australian current. And the EAC, that current from Finding Nemo that the turtles surf on, it's a warm water, but also a nutrient poor current, and it's flowing further south than it did traditionally due to climate change. The water conditions are just too warm for them. And those losses have led to it being listed now as an endangered marine community by the federal government. They still exist across basically the full range that giant kelp used to exist in eastern Tasmania, and they seem healthy. They're not bleached, they're still reproductive, they still produce recruits. They just don't form the big forest that they used to. So what we're doing that's a little bit interesting is we've sampled that remaining 5% of giant kelp because they seem quite healthy. So from that remaining 5%, we've sampled at multiple sites across the length of Tassie, and we're breeding them in the lab, and we're trying to select and identify for individuals within that remaining population that are more tolerant of warm water, more tolerant of the modern conditions. They're the ones that will replant back out into the ocean and hopefully buy us a bit of time as we move forward and our oceans continue to warm. So I'm optimistic moving forward that we can solve some of these problems and get giant kelp back. We also have to be realistic that we're still on a very rapid warming trajectory, and ultimately we need to get a handle on carbon emissions. I think as we move forward, the use of fossil fuels is going to decrease rapidly. So I don't see any value at all in opening up new reserves, and especially in such a sensitive environment. The Great Southern Reef is just as equally amazing as the Great Barrier Reef, but sadly, it's just as under threat.